Hello, everyone. Welcome to the very first episode of our Y Talks podcast edition. I'm your host, Dimitri from Sri Lanka. We are joined today with four fantastic individuals who will share with us their experience as bisexuals. I hope you're ready. I'm ready. Let's go hear what they have to say. Let's hear their whys.
But it's not like 50-50.
I don't think you have to act on it to prove it. So I feel like this rather puts a lot of pressure on the people navigating their already complicated sexuality, and I don't think it's fair.
That is my relationship and is not my identity. Hi, I'm Jannat Husna. I'm bisexual, and I think my favorite pop culture icon would be Harley Quinn.
Thanks, Doc. You're a peach.
Hi everyone, this is Regita, and I am a bisexual woman. And at the moment, my current favorite pop culture icon is Cardi B because she just came out with an album.
Oh my God! What is that?
Hello, my name is Sini. I am a bisexual non-binary person, and my favorite pop culture character is Petra from Jane the Virgin series. Thank you.
Let's go. Nice. Pooji.
Hello, I'm Poojani from Sri Lanka. I'm bisexual, and my favorite bisexual pop icon is Miley Cyrus.
Wow, wow, yeah.
Oh, I fully forgot she's full on bi. Bisexuality means you are equally attracted to men and women. Equally. Myth or fact? Myth.
This is totally a myth because I identify as bisexual woman, and I am mostly attracted to women, but I am attracted to men, but it's not like 50-50. Most of all of my life I am more I lean more towards women when it comes to attraction and dating them and being with them and all that. But my attraction towards men is also undeniable, and I have been in love with men and all that, but it's never 50-50 for me.
Yeah, so again, like I also identify as bisexual, but in actually the process of identifying myself and figuring it out, I've actually come to realize at some certain points in my life I've been completely 50-50. Like the attraction to men and women have been extremely the same, and then there were times when it has become about 60-40, 70-30, like it changes. So I think there are times when I'm more leaning towards men than women, but other times just completely 50-50. So I don't really, so I mean, obviously that's the way for me. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the same for everybody else. So yeah.
You don't have to prove your bisexuality through your dating history. Fact.
So I think this is in regards to all sexualities. I don't think you have to act on it to prove it. Just like how we don't question straight people if they're straight without them ever having, let's say, even if they don't have any practical experience and you don't question their straightness. It's the same for queer people and same for bisexuality as well. So for me, this has always been I think a place of concern because oftentimes, especially when I was younger, my bisexuality was invalidated because of my lack of experience in dating both the genders, even though I personally know how I have felt about different people, right? So I feel like this rather puts a lot of pressure on the people navigating their already complicated sexuality. And I don't think it's fair to everybody to have that be the basis of identification and validation of their sexuality.
Yeah, it really isn't fair. Actually, another one of the fact myth questions was a lot of people believe you can't be bisexual if you've only dated one gender in your whole life. So you can't. You simply cannot. Great. Sini, please.
I feel that having to prove anything for that matter is a very patriarchal and capitalist lens that's been forced upon us. And I myself, I haven't dated any women identifying people or women for that matter, but that doesn't mean my heart doesn't flutter when I see a very pretty person, so I'm also married, and our relationship looks a very like a heterosexual passing relationship, because he's a man. But that doesn't erase my identity, right? As a bisexual person, I don't have to go out and date just because I have to prove. I can date if I want to, right? And yeah.
Awesome. Okay. This one I think kind of goes along with this, but let's see. Okay. Fact or myth? You stop being bisexual when you are in a monogamous relationship. Myth. Yes. Well, we like to think. Well, a lot of people don't believe this. Practicing lesbianism. Would the practicing lesbian want to go? Have you stopped being a bisexual?
Actually, this is something one of my friends, she said about herself, that she is bisexual, but she has been in a in relationship, monogamous relationship with her partner for so long that she identifies as practicing lesbian now.
Practicing lesbian. Yeah. Anybody else want to add?
Okay, I think it was in 2020 itself that I came out as bisexual, and I was attending some conference online, and I said that, hey, I'm bisexual, but I'm in a heterosexual relationship. And the moderator was like, Sini, you identify as a bisexual, regardless of who you are with, you will always be bisexual, regardless of whether you are in a monogamous relationship or a polyamorous relationship. That doesn't erase the fact that you will always be bisexual, and that made a big difference to me. Yeah.
Pooja, did you also want to say something?
A quick thing I'll say. I just wanted to say, because like when now, I'm also married, so I just wanted to add, like, while being someone who is in the sphere of the activism scene for the LGBT community, like the minute like I like when that happened, I was married, and like it was very difficult for me also to like just explain to people, saying, oh, you know what, I'm not stopping to be bisexual now, because obviously this is continuing, but I just wanted to add a little thing to saying, like, it could, this whole thing, like the fact that the way people think about it and just comment on it, it can have a lot of, like, it can affect your mental state a lot, right? Especially because of like, because it's your identity, right? And people are questioning you about your identity, and you start to question it. You're like, oh, is this stopping now? Like, what's happening? And then you're like, no, but then like having to explain it
Maybe.
to people, yeah, right? And having to explain it also, for you, you're justifying, in your head, right? So that becomes really exhausting, right? So obviously I don't think anybody has to do that, but having to do that is a lot. Like, I don't think it's fair asking anybody to like have to explain themselves or prove themselves. But people not believing it, I feel like it's not like, we don't have to think about that. They can just believe what they want, not believe what they want. They can think it's a fact, but who cares?
One last one, maybe. Bisexual men are actually gay and bisexual women are actually straight.
Obviously myth, but
Yeah. Yeah.
about it, yeah.
I feel like this is something we hear a lot amongst the gays. This is amongst the community themselves.
Definitely.
Yeah.
This is definitely, this comes from the community, and I think all these other myths that we are, and like facts that we are talking about, like right now, all of these are connected. Like these are the same people who will tell you that, like, you are married to a, like, if you're a woman and you identify as bisexual, and if you're married to a man, then they would say that, oh, now you are in a heterosexual relationship, so you are not bisexual anymore. So like, this is the same people. This is like, this is connected to the larger issue of like, bi erasure within the community, where no matter where you are, ultimately your identity is like, taken very lightly, and like, it's not given as much as like seriousness of other like, identities probably. So yeah, but this is something that is, I agree with you, Dimitri, that this happens within the community. And if you are in a relation, in my case, for example, I am in a like long-term monogamous relationship with my, like, partner who identifies as lesbian. So like, people by default like identify me, or like, point at me, and they're like, oh, you are a lesbian, you are not bisexual, because like, you are with that person for so long. But yeah.
Awesome. Regita, did you want to say something?
Yes. Yes, I think this also, if you like think about it in a deeper sense, it's also very patriarchal. The fact that men who might be attracted to men are considered completely gay and not having the possibility of being bi, because if they can like women, why would they not like women? And likewise for women, the idea of, again, if you you cannot be bi, that you are just straight, again with this idea that you, how can you not like men? I think it's very patriarchal, that it caters to like masculinity within the gay community, and this idea of, oh, you wanting that for yourself, and having homosexual relationship being considered as an opposition to that masculinity. And for, I think, women also, there's this I think over sexualization of queerness and like queerness within the within women, the female relationships, and that is why I think society refuses to believe that women can be bi, and that they think it's a performance you're putting up so that you can be seen as more sexual, more appealing. I think when a woman says they're bi, most men are like, oh, so you might be like very bold or open to ideas. You might be a modern-minded woman. You might be good in bed. They oftentimes associate our bisexuality with this idea that maybe we'd be open to having a threesome with another woman involved. And that's where they see it, and hence they refuse to believe that women are bisexual. They just think it's something, it's in our head, or we're trying to say to appeal to mostly, again, men or heterosexual men. So I feel like it is very deeply problematic, and within the community we reinforce it by again erasing the members themselves, you know. But within, I think, like, outside also we see this happen a lot.
True.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Actually, yeah, yes, Sini, please.
I am so glad that we are having this conversation. I would also like to recommend looking at posts of a comic artist named Art by Moga on Instagram. She is a bisexual artist herself, and she's married. So she draws art panels of how, you know, she confesses to someone that I am bisexual, and that person is shouting, "But you're married!" And then that Moga person is, she's like, you know, like this, like how many times will I have to explain myself? So we need this kind of representation. So yeah.
That's true. So this is actually a question that I wanted to ask later on, but I'll ask it anyway because Regita kind of brought it up. Now, men, or let's say it's a patriarchal thing, right? They'll think, oh my God, you're a modern woman. You must be open to all these things. Look at, you're ready to go with this one and that one. Do you think some women do perpetuate that idea? That idea of, oh, okay, I'll perform bisexuality to get the, to appeal more to men. Because, you know, yeah.
Yes, I don't think you can answer this question pertaining directly to women's agency without thinking about the bigger system that women are part of. I think most of our lives we are being dictated on how to even perform our own gender, right? In terms of like how to look pretty. And all of this is for patriarchy. All of this is mostly for like cishet men. So even our idea of sexuality and performing that in itself is oftentimes influenced to, again, please men or patriarchy. So even if there are women who are, let's say, performing this is not coming inherently with this, again, full autonomous agency of knowing that while doing this they are, you know, causing a lot of problems within society. They don't have that. It's rather as a pressure and influence from society and patriarchy to force you to be into that. So I feel like, again, so I don't think it can be like a single question for like just women. Rather, it's like the system that we're a part of, just like beauty standards as well. Everything we do, we do it to appeal to the patriarchy in itself. So I guess that way we have to we have to consider the system in itself while we answer this question.
Yeah, no, I only asked the question was because of that. I think the patriarchy in general doesn't benefit anybody, right? We are all doing some kind of gender performance to get by and to be accepted. So everyone is performing in some way because of this damn patriarchy. But yeah, did anyone want to add to that, or we can move on?
No,
I have one more.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Please.
Sorry.
Please do.
Yes, I think in this we also have to think about how sex, or the idea of sex in itself, is so androcentric, and even within the queer community, we reinforce this binary heteronormative roles amongst the couple, right? So in that sense, if you think about sex as androcentric, and again, if we see it as penetrative and again very heteronormative, naturally people are limited to very binary set of rules and options for them to navigate life through. And I think that's also something we have to keep in consideration when we think about how we're performing our sexuality and our gender roles. Yes.
Yes, yeah, I think maybe later we'll discuss a little bit about the intimacy of it and like how you engage in sex and how you engage with partners. But before we move on, actually, I wanted to ask about now, because each and everyone has their own individual experience of bisexuality. You all identify as bisexual, but you have various ways of representing, living your life. Right? So why do you think it's important for you to continue to identify as bisexual? Would it not be easier for some of you guys? Now, for Jannat, would it not be easier for you to say, you know what, yeah, damn it, I am a lesbian, let's move on? Or for Pujani, because you are married, to say, you know what, I don't even need to engage with this. I'm in a heterosexual relationship. I'm going to run off into the sunset. So why is it important for you to continue to identify as bisexual? Sini.
Okay.
So I realized that I'm bisexual when I was just 13 years old, and I suppressed that truth into my unconscious as much as possible, and that actually made me suffocate a lot, even though I did not realize, even though I was living my life, daily life. And in 2020, when I realized that I'm bisexual and when I came out, it was like I was breathing again. It was like I was living a new life again, and I have the privilege now to come out as a bisexual person. I have the safe space to know that people don't accept me despite my identity, they accept me with my identity. It's not like, oh, we are accepting you even though you are bisexual. No, we are accepting you along with your bisexual identity, and that has made a lot of difference to me on about how I perceive myself as a person, about how I move through this world, and just removing that tag, that label that I have now taken upon as my part of my identity would make me very feeble and weak as a person, like how I was a teenager without any agency over my life. And I don't want that to happen ever again. So, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Who wants to go next?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so my identity is an important part, of me. This is my bisexuality is an important part of my identity. And whenever I am identified as or some people say that I am lesbian, I immediately correct them, and I feel compelled to correct them, because I do not want them to identify me see me as a lesbian, because that is my relationship and is not my identity. So seeing me and telling me who I am based on who I'm dating currently, or who I'm married to, or all of this kind of similar things, this ignores me as an individual, and I think that is not okay. And my sexuality, I would like to be identified as as myself, and this is why I think it is important for me to be identified as bisexual, even though it doesn't really matter if I'm with a man or a woman, and I wouldn't want it to be changed based on who I am seeing right now or who I'm with right now.
I just want to add a little something to both what both Jannat and Sini said. I agree with both of you. It's exactly for myself. It's not for to prove anything to anybody. It's simply for myself. I just want to continue because like Jannat said, it's about myself and not my relationship. That has nothing to do with my identity, right? So, and also I just want to say, when you do that, the people that surround themselves around you, or the people who remain, those are the kind of people you want to be around also. You really don't want people to just when you do that, and when you see these are the people who are just going to continue to remain in your life, then you're like, you know what, then who are your actual people who are loyal to you, and yourself as a person who like you for you. So that's, I think, important too in that process.
Rekha, would you also like to share? Because, this seems to be interesting. This is something everyone wonders, why?
Yes, I think I have a similar experience as Sini. I think growing up, when I was hitting puberty and having my first crushes, they happened to be women. But back then, I didn't know that was allowed. So I remember feeling a lot of shame and disgust towards myself. And when I finally got in a relationship, I got in a relationship with a man. So again, I think relationship that you get into are not always again based on your own agency. It's very situational. It's very conditional. It's based on the environment, the cultural context of it as well. So for me to erase this whole part of me that growing up really felt ashamed and embarrassed, I think would be wrong, a disservice to my younger self as well. And even at this stage, I think recognizing that sexuality is not a choice. So to say that, oh, if I can just change it, I would have changed it back then and not have to go through the guilt. And I would have changed it now as well. But I cannot. It's a part of me. And instead of now looking forward to validation, I'm just gonna give that to myself, because I think we know how we feel about people, right? And at the same time, I think in sense of the queer community and queer advocacy, it puts me in a very unique position also, gives me some sense of privilege, right? Because in my case, I am cis passing, I'm straight passing. However, at the same time, it also grounds me. So that I feel like it's a good place to be, where you are able to push forward a bigger agenda, bigger than yourself, while also being very mindful of the impact it has, especially on people who are not really confident with their own identity, right? Because bisexuality is often erased, often suppressed, often dismissed within the queer community as well. So I think having come so far in life, at this moment, there's no point in trying to like deny it also.
Nice. Yeah, that's very true. And these are these individual experiences people don't really think about, no? Because if you haven't experienced it yourself, they're like, no empathy. All
I
right.
wanted
So
to add something, just a little
please.
something. I speak 4 languages, and English isn't even my first language, Even then, bisexuality was the first word from a foreign language that struck a chord with me,
Oh.
that made me feel seen. So I have a big connection with the word itself. So I would never want to let it go,
Actually, I'd like to know, how do you say bisexual in your language? In Sydney, what is bisexual in your language?
I'm not sure if there is a word as such, but I remember reading in Marathi, भिन्नलिंगी व्यक्तींकडे आकर्षण, meaning getting attracted towards people of different gender, basically.
So in Marathi, once again, in Marathi, bisexuality is?
भिन्नलिंगी व्यक्तींकडे आकर्षण. Akarshan.
Okay.
Akarshan is attraction. Now, this is a phrase I remember.
Attraction.
I hope I'm saying it right. Yeah.
Okay. All
And in
right.
Kokni, it will be भिन्नलिंगी मनशांकडे आकर्षण. Yeah.
What is this language?
Kokni from Goa,
Kokni.
Goa state language.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good to know. Jannat, Bangla?
I don't think there is that effort even is there to translate it into Bangla properly, because there is this different sorts of CBOs and activists. They are trying to come up with Bangla terminologies for all of these things, and they use ubho-kami sometimes. It's ubho means both. So kami is that is who is attracted to something. So it's like a person who is attracted to both genders. And but I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that translation, because it kind of makes me feel like a frog, because ubhochar, that is that is, but the Bangla for amphibious, that is ubhochar. So it kind of makes me feel like I'm living in water and in land. So
Regita in Bhutanese?
In Dzongkha, I don't know what it is called. Dzongkha is a relatively new language, and even the few terms that we have for the queer community, they're very crude and need updates. So at the moment, I don't know what it is called.
There's no word.
I don't think so. Not that I know of. I mean, again, even if there is one in the dictionary, it's not one that is used in spoken Dzongkha. So
no word. Okay, in Dzongkha, no word. What? How would you introduce yourself if you were to say I'm bisexual to somebody?
I'm bisexual.
I literally just that. Like, oh, I like boys and girls in Dzongkha. I'm like, so I'm just like,
oh, okay. One more time in your language. Dzongkha.
ngayi busyaga, ngayi bumyaga.
Nice.
That's basically saying I like boys and girls, you know.
Okay. See the roundabout things we have to do. Pujani, how do you say in Sinhala?
I don't know if this is correct, but we said Dvitalingika, isn't that the word? That is, I think, yeah. But it's very technical
no one
and
says.
yeah, no one says that.
Ubukami, no one says it either.
Yeah. Nobody says that.
Yeah,
Dvikalinga, or
Ubokami,
maybe
Dvailingi, it just feels like a very weird word that has been just dropped on this earth. So bisexual feels like the correct word.
yeah, because we have the word for gay because we would say that word all the time, but we
Really?
don't say. Yeah, for us we say, what is it like? We say Samalingika.
Samaling, yeah.
Samalingika
is a very common word.
Samalingik in Marathi.
Samokami, we say that as well, yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
used
guys
like
say some.
It's like, Shamokami, homosexual, Shamokami.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And
yeah.
in Marathi, it's Samalingik, very close.
Same,
okay.
same.
Same.
Bhuta?
I just googled bisexual in Zonka and it says Zungjor. I've never heard this word, but
Never.
apparently according to the dictionary, it's Zungjor.
Okay.
Okay, but Zungchor is much better than Ubhailingi. Anyway.
Maybe to Regita's
That's
ears,
weird.
it's not so great.
It sounds very alien.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Did you know that bisexual people make up the largest portion of the LGBTQ plus community? I think we can assume that.
Assume
But
that.
yes, the largest portion. Okay. And also, bisexual umbrella, right? The term bi is sometimes used to include not just bisexual, like strictly, but also pansexual, omnisexual, and other identities under that umbrella. Sometimes, I mean, this is up to people's personal interpretations, but there is a tendency to do that. Oh, actually, this is a good question. I don't know if you guys know this, because I know every one of you we work in the LGBTQ rights sphere, right? Do you know who coined the term, not just bisexuality, but heterosexuality and homosexuality? Do you know it's a man? Of course, it's a
Freud?
man.
Of course. Of
Yeah,
course.
who coined the term?
Freud?
Is it?
No,
I have no idea.
Thank
it's
God.
someone-
I don't know.
Thank God, it's not
No,
Freud.
Freud.
He's a creep.
Freud
It
would
is
have
that.
been like, you have some internal issues, which is why
Mm. Problems to be solved.
Do we know this person? Like,
Yes.
is it oh.
Yeah,
Why do I feel like it's Charles Darwin, but it might
No.
not be.
Close, but not even. It's Charles Gilbert Chaddock. Some guy called
Never
Charles
heard.
Gilbert Chaddock.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Never heard of him.
I don't know
Never
him
heard.
either.
he's the one who coined the terms bisexuality, homosexuality, and heterosexuality.
Was he homophobic?
Is he a scientist? What's his deal?
Potentially. No, he's like a
Oh, it's just
naturalist.
Oh, naturalist. Okay.
American Psychological Association states that, let me read this. Sexual orientation falls along a continuum, okay? Meaning that one does not have to be exclusively homosexual or heterosexual, but can feel varying degrees of both. So sexual orientation develops across a person's lifetime. Different people realize it at different points of their lives. Lives that they may be heterosexual, bisexual, or homosexual. Different points in their lives. It's a continuum, is what the American Psychological Association states. And attraction can take different forms. And especially when it comes to bisexuals, it can be sexual, romantic, emotional, or physical. It is not just sexual like many people believe. But I did want to ask everybody, when did you all realize that you were bisexual? I think Shini shared a little bit that you were 13 when you were coming in to realize this, but I'd like to hear what other people, the others had. What is your experience? Like around what age? When was it?
For me, honestly, when I was watching Lord of the Rings, I think I was probably like 8, and I was watching it, and I was like, oh, I'm like really attracted to this Aragorn guy, and also the woman, Erwin,
And his partner,
and his girlfriend. I was like, who is this? And I was like, oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, that's when I knew.
Okay, so for me, it was pretty early on as well, but like I didn't have the vocabulary for it. I was always attracted to, like, whenever I used to watch movies and series and all these kind of things and cartoons, I would be attracted to, like, if the girl is very hot, I'd be attracted to them, like mostly them, but like then I'd be attracted to guys as well. But I didn't know, like, what it was. And then I would, like, in high school, I had like really like very intimate friendships, and I didn't know what that was either. And then girls would be like, into me, and I'd enjoy the attention and all these kind of things. Then I didn't know what this is. Then after I started, like, exploring my sexuality, when I was around 16, 17, I guess, I started to learn about all these terminologies and all these, like, categories that I can identify with. But then I continued to question myself, actually. Like, Pooji, you were talking about earlier that, like, how people questioning your sexuality can mess with your head as well. And for a long time, I kept questioning myself. Am I actually lesbian? But, like, is it easier for me to identify as bisexual? That's why I identify as bisexual, because, like, I was dating mostly girls. So I accepted it when I was in university. I was in love with a guy friend. So, like, then I put that worry to rest. Okay, like, I can identify as bisexual, like, worryless now.
Yeah, for me, I think, like I mentioned, when I was hitting puberty, like, of course, when I was young and when I used to watch these shows, I used to like both the girls and the boys. Or I'd be like, oh, so cool, so hot. That was there. But I remember having this, like, the idea of wet dreams. I don't know how it is for men, but I think my first wet dream was when I saw myself holding hands with this other friend of mine who happened to be a girl. And I remember waking up feeling like so shy and embarrassed. And I was like, what the hell was that? Because it felt so different than just like holding hands with a friend. And I remember feeling so disgusted about it. And I was like, oh my God, I can't speak about it with anybody. And I remember feeling like, so, oh God, like, what is happening to me, And for me in that stage, I did not want to act on any of my so-called feelings. I never dated anybody. And this is where also, that's what I'm saying, because for me, my first relationship that I got into, I didn't get into this relationship because he was a guy per se. It was very emotional. It was more about me having lost my dad, finding somebody who was like, very safe and secure, who I could rely and trust on, right? Who happened to be a boy. So then when I got into this relationship, I was in this for 7 years. And in those 7 years, again, am I just like straight, right? But I always knew that I had crushes from the past on girls. And even when I was with this partner of mine, I used to tell him about my attraction towards women as well. And so it wasn't until university, when I did like gender studies, when I studied in all women's like liberal arts university, where I learned that, oh, you can actually like more than one gender, and it is valid, it is okay. And I think for me, I found that validation from my professors and my college friends. And I think but even then I was like, oh, maybe I'm still not bi, maybe I'm just by, what do you call that? Queer baiting. I used to question. I still do at this time
Bi-curious.
also.
Bi-curious.
No, I was like queer baiting. I was like, maybe I'm just pretending.
Oh.
Is it because I'm surrounded by like lots of the hot activists, like strong, smart women? It's just natural to like find these women
Question.
amazing, because these were like just like such cool people. But then I think, again, down the line, that's where for me advocacy has helped me a lot more also, because while doing advocacy for the others, I found, I think, acceptance within myself as well. So I think it's been only a few years that I have like really come out and been like, yes, I am bi, and I accept it. Before that, I used to be like very like, oh, I don't know if it's right for me to even have a say in this. So yeah, it's been a journey for sure.
Yeah. Okay, I have one question. You can take a minute to think about it.
Will it be okay if I
Oh,
share
sorry.
a bit?
Oh,
Yeah.
Sini, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I did say
Right.
that I fully realized when I was 13 years old, but now that I was thinking about it, I think back to back when I was 11 years old and I started having crush on Priti Zinta and Deepika Padukone, Bollywood actresses. And I used to crush so hard on them, but I was like, okay, this is very weird. So then I used to tell my mom, Priti Zinta and Saif Ali Khan look very good together. I like both of them. I like both of them. I like both of them. But I would never say that I only like Priti Zinta. And then when I was 13 years old, I remember that I was deeply in love. And I say it even today, even as a 29-year-old, with a friend of mine who was a girl. And I could never ever tell her. Till today, she doesn't know that I was like in romantic love with her. And yeah, and that's when I realized that, okay, this is getting real, and I suppressed it. Then when I was 16-year-old, I remember thinking that I wanted to kiss a girl, that I had met. And then my friends used to tell me, me and some of my girl friends, like they used to be like, if I was a man, I would have kissed you, or if I was a man, I would have proposed to you. We used to say all these things to each other. And when I felt like I want to kiss a girl, I used to feel like, oh, maybe women are wired this way, that when we feel so much of love for another woman, we just want to kiss them. Like, it's not like it's something. And then in 2020, when I was trapped inside the hostel for 2 months, and I started watching Jane the Virgin, and I was like, okay, Raphael is cute, but so is Jane, and then Petra comes out as a bisexual person, and it was all like, okay, it's now or never. If I don't come out as bisexual, because I didn't even know if I would live till the end of 2020, given the whole scenario. So I just came out. And Momo was one of the first few people who helped me on my journey. So I'm very grateful. Yes.
Shout out, Momo. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. One question.
Fuji,
Oh.
when did she? No, we didn't hear that. Did you share?
Sorry? Yeah, I did. Oh,
Yeah,
I
really.
I did. I shared in the beginning. I was talking
Lord
about
of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Sorry.
Arwen and
I'm sorry.
Aragorn.
Yes.
Trying to break up a happy marriage.
Fuji was trying to be addicted by them.
Yeah.
I was.
Okay. Take a moment to think about it. One fact. So I would like to know what's one thing you wish more people understood about being bisexual. Everybody can have one thing. What's one main thing that you wish everybody just understood about bisexuality? I'd like to prompt this by also including intimacy and how people have sex, like in their different types of relationships. Because I think I've heard often, like when women are in relationships with other women and they're like, okay, so do you have sex? And they're like, yes. And then they are like, but it's with women, so you're still a virgin. I've heard this quite a bit here and there, because penetrative sex is the only type of sex. And that also has to be with a man. It has to be a penis and vagina. But yeah, so this is the only kind of sex.
Such a
that
lawyer
pe-
thing to say.
Penis and vagina. Yes, that's the only recognized way, no others. So yeah, I just want to prompt that in. But anyway, whatever you feel, what's one thing you wish people understood more about being bisexual?
Can I start?
Break it up. Go for it. Break it up. Go for it.
I think people need to differentiate bisexuality, sexuality, and people who are just assholes. I say this in regards to especially like women loving women relationships. There's always this like big backlash against lesbian women dating bisexual women, because it's like, oh, these bisexual women, they would leave you for a man, she like, I got dumped because she wants a man. At the end of the day, she's just being pretentious. And I'm like, that is wrong, but that's nothing to do with her, nothing to do with the sexuality. And there's no reason why people should dismiss and disregard and rather like sabotage the entire sexuality, like, the group of people, because some bisexual women happen to be more evil. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah,
if you're mean, you're mean. Like, yes, someone who's unfaithful, someone who hurt you, that is completely unfair, and you have the right to be mad about that. But I don't get why people have to somehow talk about their bisexuality, whenever this happens. And this, even if you think about the most famous lesbian dramas or like, queer women, women loving women relationship dramas online, you will see that whenever it's a lesbian woman and a bisexual woman dating, and when the breakup happens, and it's like, oh, this bisexual woman, she left her because she finally found a man. I feel like we need to leave the sexuality out of this. I say this because for me also, going forward, it has been difficult to then reach out and meet women or to connect with women, especially like lesbian women, because there's this internal guilt because of others. And it's like, oh, I hope you don't see me in that light. So I feel like it's a very big misconception. I don't know. It's a very bad reputation that bisexual women have amongst the I think, sapphic women loving women relationships. If others can add on that, I don't know. That's how I see.
Yeah. That's actually true. I'm just, until everyone else is thinking of their one fact, just to share. So there was a social media couple that me and actually Pooja we followed.
Oh.
It's Sufi and Anjali. And
Yeah, yeah.
I think so.
I know about
Anjali
them
is
as well.
right, bisexual
We're still
Anjali.
talking about
Sufi.
this.
Still, I will not forget this.
Yeah.
Sufi is a lesbian, identified as lesbian. And when they broke up, they said that someone cheated in the relationship, right? They were going to get married and one person cheated. And everyone's like, oh, it must be the bisexual one. Which one did it? It turned out to be it was Sufi, so not really. Some people are
Yeah.
just assholes. It's not just bisexual.
Okay, so I'd like to.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think I wish people actually understood that bisexuals do not have it easy. Like, I'll give one example. Like, it's like, when it comes to dating, people tend to think that just because bisexual individuals are attracted to both gender, they have a wider pool for, like, dating and all these kind of things. I think intimacy and building connection with your partner, this is like, as scary as, like, it get for anyone. Being bisexual and being attracted to both or more gender doesn't necessarily mean that you have it easy. And I think this is actually connected with a wider range of other other stigma and, like, discrimination that bi people continuously face, like, the cheating allegations and the hypersexuality and the, like, not being faithful, and, like, of course they have it easy. They can, like, opt out of, like, being queer anytime they want, because they are attracted to both genders, so they can just, like, marry to opposite gender, and they can just mainstream their entire personal life and all these kind of things. I think this is something which is very, very difficult to, like, have on me as a bisexual individual, that presumption, because love, it doesn't really, like, it's not my choice. Sexuality is not my choice. Who I'm attracted to is not my choice. I'm just happen to be attracted to one more than one gender. But, like, the person who I'm going to be attracted to and which gender they will have, I have no, like, say over that. And who I fall in love with, I have no say over that. So yeah, I wish people understood that about bisexual people, that just because they're bisexual, they do not have it easy.
Yep. Thank you. How about, have you thought about it, Pooji, Sydney? One fact.
Yeah.
Okay. Pooji, she's unmuted
okay.
right now.
Okay, so I actually I was kind of thinking something very similar to along the lines of what Jonnath was saying, but, like, let me just, like, say a little bit of a different version of it. Like, because the thing is, something that I would like to people to understand is that, like, I think this is again something we talked about earlier. Like, we don't like, people don't really stop being bisexual despite of their dating choices. Like, I would like people to understand that identity is completely different from people's attraction and relationships, because that is what leads to bi erasure even within the community, right? That's what leads to people saying, oh, that's just a face, or that's just, you're just kidding yourself, or, you're just pretending, and completely omitting, based on your fun fact, the biggest community in the LGBT community from being part of that community, and finding it to be a safe space. Because bisexual people also need, like, I mean, you can't find another safe space. This is your community is rejecting you. That's crazy, right? So, I mean, I feel like that if you have that understanding, I feel like that is the step one to, putting an end to bi erasure. So yeah, that's what I thought.
True. All right, Sydney, let's go.
I just want to say that just because we identify as bisexual doesn't mean that we want to have sex with every other person we see on the street.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, oh my God, yes. Oh God.
I remember when I told one of my ex-friends that I am a bisexual, I remember seeing this fear in her eyes, and the way that she asked me, so what do you mean by, when you identify as a bisexual? And I could see what her fear meant. So I just want to say, like, just how every heterosexual person doesn't go on dating every other person in the room or hitting on them or harassing them, except for when it's a very creepy uncle who does that. The creepy people do that, but we don't do that. We don't want to have sex with every other person that we communicate with. It doesn't make any sense. And we equally want every other person to feel safe in our presence, without them feeling like we are some predators, who are just searching for the next adventure or something like that.
Yeah, just who do I sleep with next? Man.
To put this fact out there. Yeah.
Yes. Who is your celebrity crush? Let's go.
Okay, so
Spencer.
Regina, who?
Sorry.
Right now, who's my celebrity
okay,
crush?
so right now, last week
Right
I
now.
started watching for the first time Thai GLs, and I watched 3, and I'm
Ooh.
pushing so hard. Don't look me on Sonia. Oh my God, they are from like they had 2 series like Affair and Harmony Secret. So yeah,
Oh,
so pretty.
I-
Oh my God, I'm in love.
nice. Did you watch Namtang and Films?
The Pluto one, I started with that actually,
Yeah.
but I ended up liking these 2 better.
Oh, okay. I love
But
Namtang.
I'm a baby in this. I just started, so give me some time to actually
Okay.
like
Yes. You will
Okay,
get
nice.
into it. Nice. I mean, Regita, I feel like I know, but like, who could it be?
Yeah, we all know.
Who could it be?
Who could it be?
Who are you all talking about?
We're thinking one Mr. Mingyu, whatever
Your
his surname
husband
is.
from
Yeah, your
17.
husband.
No, I'm sorry. That's my husband, not a crush.
Not a
That's
crush.
just
Oh,
fate. I have
okay.
no say in that. But
Yes.
if I would talk about my queer crushes, this is a couple that I would love to be a couple with also. I would love for them to adopt me also. I am just attracted to both Rene Rapp and Toa Bird.
Oh,
Oh.
nice. Renee Rapp.
Toa Bird,
Rene Rapp
like
is
they're
hot.
a couple. Yeah, both of them very hot,
Interesting. Hmm.
very talented.
Yes. Renee
Please
is
adopt
very
me.
talented.
Rene is very hot.
Please adopt me. All right, Sini, who is your celebrity crush currently?
Okay. Remember how I said that it was Deepika Padukone back in 2007? So now, along with her, it's her husband, Ranveer Singh.
Oh,
What a plot twist.
yeah, what a plot twist.
So it's like along with her. It's not like Deepika is on the sideline. No,
Oh,
it's both of them.
package.
Yeah. And like every time both of them come on the screen, like I turn towards my partner and I'm like, when I look at Ranveer, I'm like, I get it, Ranveer, I get it, And when I look at Deepika, I'm like, I get it, Deepika, I get it.
I get
Yeah.
it too.
I get it too. Pooji, who is your celebrity crush?
Yeah, okay. So like I keep moving back and forth with the same people. Like, Kate Blanchett is my full
Yes.
lifelong crush. She's awesome.
Has your heart
She
forever.
has my heart. But also like again these days, I'm back to crushing on Andrew Garfield because he's looking fine.
Because he got the
And
hair
also,
transplant.
oh my God, with the hair transplant technology. And also and also okay, I forget her name, but the South Asian girl from Cat's Eye,
Lara.
oh,
Lara
hot.
Raj.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Rajkumari was recently in love with Lara Raj.
She is so hot.
I'm
Yeah.
currently in love with
You
Lara.
see?
Lara.
Speak
You
to
know,
the
she's
other
half
girls
Sri
and
Lankan.
what Lara
Yes,
Raj is
she's half
so
Sri
and all that.
Lankan.
She's not actually, but like we've made a long
I mean, her
connection.
parents are, her ancestry.
Her
There's some
father was
Sri
born in
Lankan
Sri
there.
Lanka.
Yes, father was born in Sri Lanka. So when all the
His
Sri Lankans are
grandfather
like
founded the first Tamil newspaper.
newspaper. Yeah,
Yeah,
damn, look
yeah.
at Regita knowing all the history.
I stay updated.
I
Who is
have
your
one more.
crush?
I have one
Dimitri?
more to confess, if it's
Yes.
okay to confess.
Please
So you know
do.
how the entire world is going gaga over Pedro Pascal. So like, of course, I like him too.
Feather
But then
Pascal.
there is this actor called as Jaideep Ahlawat in Bollywood. He acted in a movie called Three of Us, and from my point of view, he's like the Pedro Pascal of India.
Oh,
Cute.
I have a
Jaideep.
crush on him.
What's his name?
Jaideep?
Jaideep Ahlawat.
Okay, let me Google.
Let me Google. I
You
will.
might not like him, like he's very old or something, but I don't know. I like him.
No, but I see it. I see what you mean by Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
He looks like a charming man.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. That's it. I have one last thing, and then we are
Okay,
done
who
for the
is
day.
your celebrity crush?
Oh, mine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Kristen
yeah.
Stewart.
Oh, yeah.
Kristen
Oh.
Stewart.
Kristen
Always.
Oh
Stewart.
my
Kristen Stewart. Oh
goodness.
my goodness.
Okay, I have no idea who that is. I'll have to Google.
Oh,
Twilight, you know.
Bella from Twilight.
Bella from Twilight.
Swan.
Oh, okay, yeah. Her entire transformations has been
Okay.
like, I have like,
Every
I'm trying to act like
stage.
her.
yeah. Oh, you said Kristen Stewart. Okay, I couldn't hear. properly,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tell
also
us
Hunter
this.
Schaffer.
Is it-
She is so hot.
Oh
Hunter
my
Schaffer.
God, yes.
Oh, yeah, Hunter
Oh my God,
Schaffer.
the whole
Euphoria,
cast of
oh my
I'm
Euphoria.
not wrong. The way
Like,
that
Yeah.
she
what
says
is that?
my
What is
girlfriend,
that?
my
Like,
partner, and everything, that itself
Zendaya.
is very sweet, you know. So,
So,
yeah.
but
When
like,
she
you know,
talks-
Yes.
Dimitri, are you
Yes.
into like Kristen Stewart, like Bella Swan, or like, you know, the newer version that we see, like, you know, because
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. I think it's the newer version. I think it's the
I don't
the
think so.
transformation.
the entire
You
transformation.
sure?
Yeah, it's the
It-
transformation.
I just feel like
Beth?
she gives a very strong aura because she has finally accepted her queer identity.
yeah.
Yes, that is also true. That is true. All right. What is the most bisexual thing you've ever done?
what?
I got a septum
Okay, I know.
piercing.
Ah, Regita got a septum piercing. My God, that is so bio
Oh,
beauty
yes.
thing.
Okay, I
That is so bad.
I was in love with two of my friends at the same time. One was a girl and one was a guy.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Okay. For
Bisexual.
me, I think when I was like in college, you remember this? Like, this is when I was actually like accepting it and coming to like terms with it. I got the bisexual haircut, like right
Oh.
when that happened.
Can I see a
Yeah.
photo? Can I see a
I
photo?
think so. I think it should be around. I show you. Immediately, I was like, okay, it's time.
Sini,
Uh,
what is the most
I
bisexual thing you've
so
done?
I accidentally tend to wear something related to bisexuality. So recently I wore a sari which had bisexuality pride flag color, you know,
I
and I didn't
see.
even realize it. I was like, oh, so pretty color, so pretty color. And one of my another bisexual friend was like, Sini, that's a bisexuality flag that you're wearing. I was like, oh, okay, I didn't even realize. So yeah, it's like an unconscious thing that happens now.
Hardwired into bisexuality. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it very much.
Thank you for hosting us.
Thank you, everyone. And that's a wrap. I hope you learned something from our discussion today. Once again, I'm Dimitri from Sri Lanka, your host. And that was Y Talks podcast edition. On behalf of YVC, thank you for counting your voices with us today.